You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end,
what will I become?
Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
Recorded in Chicago, Illinois, with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality.
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the game where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Neal, and I'm going to start right away by saying Matt isn't here, unfortunately, but Ken and Jeff are.
He's on the road again, right?
He's on the road again.
But not for his move.
No.
It's because he wanted to go see the largest ball of twine, right?
He wanted to see the largest ball of twine while listening to On the Road Again by Willie Nelson.
Just on repeat. That's the only song he's got in his car.
It's like How I Met Your Mother when they have to listen to 500, was it 500 miles, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I think so.
In the Fiero.
I was going to go the turn the page method.
The Bob Seger?
Classic Bob
Seger.
Seger.
Or the Metallica version.
Yeah.
The Return of Metallica from last week. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, nice callback there. And who's Bob Seger's saxophonist? Do you know? I can't remember.
I don't know.
Curtis. I think Curtis is wrong, but that's just a name I threw out. My mom used to like him. She loves Bob Seger, so she always said, "Oh, he has the best saxophonist along with the E Street Band," but I can never remember their names. Clarence, that's the E Street guy. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so enough of the saxophone talk. Saxy talk is for our After Dark episodes. So
that's right.
We have some very special guests with us today. We'll start with our host. He is an Oakland 5 supporter on Patreon. He's come to us from Duluth, Minnesota. I don't even think he's fully moved in yet. Behind him is just a bunch of boxes and one guitar, so he's ready to shred at any moment's notice. But that is Wade Hausken. How are you, Wade?
Doing really well. Happy to be on. I'm coming up from the Twin Cities of Minnesota, and I figured they just weren't quite cold enough for me, so I needed to get a little chillier.
That's all right. We understand that over here in Chicago. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what we have in store for today?
Sure. Yeah. No. I am a chemist turned park ranger who decided that he didn't like to be a park ranger. So I'm up in Duluth, making another shift in careers, trying to go back to school for engineering. I wrote I think a particularly hard set of questions for you guys tonight. You guys know a whole lot more about pop culture than I do, so I had to lean on some different subjects, but hopefully not everyone will hate me by the end of the night.
Well, I'm glad I've got Jeff on my side.
Yeah, Ken, you're actually going to partner with Jeff. I decided I was going to
be a cage match.
It is going to be a cage match. Jeff actually came in here. He brought a 35-pound weight and was just pumping his bicep up because he heard geography and the call.
Mm-hmm.
So just like a good park ranger, he heard a call, and now the excitement's coming. Like if you see a hawk and a hawk comes, you know what I mean?
So we said this was a cage match. Who are we in the cage with today?
You are in the cage with two people who have a wonderful podcast. I'll let them describe it. Had the pleasure of getting to know them. Thank you to our listener, Sean Bernstein, for putting us in touch. And they're actually coming to us from Toronto, and that is Brynn, and Aaron Yeger. How are you both?
Great.
Hi, we're great.
Hi.
Thanks so much for having us, guys.
And impressive that you didn't say the second T in Toronto.
Yeah, you pronounced it like
Thumbs
a real
up.
Torontonian.
Oh, we were informed early on in our podcasting career that you don't pronounce the second T.
No, it's
in
Toronto.
any case, Toronto. It reminds us of there's a Chicago bread company here called Toronto.
I knew you were going to say that.
Which is basically in any place you want to get food. It's like, we have Toronto bread. It's like, of course you do, because it's down the block.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and also about your podcast, because I think anyone who is a fan of pop culture and great personalities is going to love it.
Oh, well, thank you. So we do a podcast called That Was a Show with a question mark, and we review failed or forgotten sitcoms from the 80s and 90s. So these are short-lived shows that many of which no one's really heard of, at least not in recent years. And we co-host this show along with our friend Barry. His actual name's Andrew, but we call him Barry, which is an ongoing joke as well. And you can explain how the format of our show works.
Yeah, I mean, we just kind of have fun with it. We watch these old shows, and we sort of look at them through a 2021 lens, but not really. We kind of just, we do a couple fun segments. We have one called 6 Degrees of Friends, where we'll like connect this like very obscure show to Friends in 6 degrees or less. And we talk about what people went on to do after this kind of failure of a show. So yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. We have a really fun time with it.
Sounds fun. Well, we do encourage all of our listeners to check out that show. And we look forward to diving into this game. But first, got to get the rules.
We have to get the rules. Wade, any preference on the rules read?
I would love to have a Dutch rules read.
Oh, all right. All right, let's hear the Dutch rules read. Also, simultaneously reading the periodic table of elements for Wade.
De regels van het spel zijn simpel. 20 vragen verdeeld over 2 rondes, waarbij elke vraag 10 punten waard is. Halverwege is er een speciale swingronde, ontworpen door de host van deze week. Na deze rondes beginnen de spelers aan de finale, met de punten die ze hebben verdiend. En hebben ze de mogelijkheid om 0 tot 30 punten in te zetten op 5 gecategoriseerde vragen. Aan het eind van het spel wordt iemand benoemd tot the cream of the crop.
I am the cream!
All right. Well, reading the periodic table of elements in Dutch certainly inspired me. And you also said Jeff was pumping up to get this academic contest in order, right?
That's correct.
So we're going to be pumping FE.
Pumping FE, okay. All right. And Brynn and Aaron, do you have a certain team name you'd like to use, or would you like to be just that was a show, or that was a show?
Yeah, we could be that was a show, or you can use our acronym TWAS.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like Twas.
Yeah.
All right. How about what if we combine it? We'll be Twas a show. How's that?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I like it.
All right. That was a show, a show.
Yep.
Okay. So we have Pumping FE versus Twas a show. Wade, feel free to take it away, and I'm just going to be sitting back here and thankfully not answering any geography questions.
All right, we're going to start off in the realm of human biology. Kind of a big question for you. Every organism known to humankind can be classified as belonging to, in descending order, a kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. For 3 points each, name as many of the correct taxonomic classifications as you can for modern humans. That is kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species.
All right, we're going to go ahead and lock in here after some discussion.
So, from the top, animal, although I put animalia, mammal, great apes, Homo sapiens, and sapiens.
Yeah, we put Anomalia for kingdom, Chordata for phylum, Mammalia for class. Order we didn't know, we just put primates. Same thing with family, we put apes and then Homo sapien.
Awesome. Pumping FE, I think you guys just about nailed it. From top down, it's Animalia, Chordata, Mammalia, primates, the great apes or the hominids, Homo, then sapiens. So looks like you guys got all 7 by my ken, and Twas, you guys got 5 of the 7 with Animalia, Mammalia, great apes, Homo, and sapiens. So it looks like 15 for Twas and 21 for Pumpin' FE.
And I helped.
I would like to thank Community Season 2, Episode 1 for the Kingdom Anthropology rap at the end, because that's how I remembered most of it. Of course, it just eventually devolves into singing Africa by Toto, which I think is the right call, but shout out there to one of my favorite shows.
Wow, I think that was the first time we had a first question point total of 21 or 15. So great job, everyone.
Great.
And yeah, let's hear question 2, Wade.
I'm counting those first as 2 questions. We'll call this one question 3. We're going to dip our toe into some sports. In the history of the NBA, 3 players have won both the league's MVP award and Defensive Player of the Year award in the same season. The first of these players achieved this in 1989, the second in 1994, and the third in 2020. Name 2 of them, or name all 3 for 5 bonus points.
And Ken, if you want to trust me on this, I think we got him.
All right, sounds good.
I mean, we don't, but I've got answers.
Yeah, that's good enough for me. And you guys?
We do not have answers for this question. We Our knowledge base for sports is not good.
Listen, take it from me, there's no shame in just naming 3 Space Jam characters.
Well, I mean,
Oh man.
might as well throw in a Michael Jordan because I assume he won lots of awards.
Lots of stuff.
Maybe for the
I don't know
1994.
Yeah.
And then, oh my God, who was the basketball player that was in that hilarious sketch on Kroll Show?
Oh, it's Larry Bird.
Larry Bird? I'm going to go with Larry Bird for 89 just
We're
because.
just naming random.
Because it's a really funny
basketball
sketch.
players.
I'm not even going to try with this
Is
one.
it a
'cause-
Raptors player? That'd be really bad if we didn't know that.
Ooh, that'd be so embarrassing.
Is it Drake?
Yeah, I'm going to say Drake. Yeah, we're going to get creamed on this. Well,
Yeah.
Not
That's-
necessarily. I think MJ might be right. We put Isaiah Thomas for 89, Charles Barkley for 94, and Giannis Antetokounmpo for 2020.
Sure. Looks like both teams got at least one right name there. 89 was Michael Jordan. 94 was Hakeem Olajuwon. And 2020 was Giannis Antetokounmpo. But no, I think I'm feeling generous. I think 5 points to each team for getting half the answer right.
wow. That was basically the equivalent of circling C on the multiple choice test.
It really was. Yeah.
No, cool. If we're ready to move on, I got what I have listed as question number 4 for you. We're going to be talking about naval tradition. If neither Captain Kirk nor Commander Spock are capable of assuming command of the Enterprise, the captain's chair would likely fall to the 3rd highest ranked officer. Who is it?
All right. I think we actually have this maybe from one of the movies, so we're going to go ahead and lock in.
What are you guys thinking, Twaz?
Okay, well, here's what we're thinking. It's one of the bridge crew, someone highly ranked, someone memorable. We're going to go Sulu, Lieutenant Commander, I believe.
Yeah, we also said Sulu.
So there is a lot of debate around this question, but Sulu was not promoted to a lieutenant commander until the Wrath of Khan. Outranking him is Lieutenant Commander Montgomery Scott.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I told him that from the beginning and Aaron was like, no.
I just remember from
He didn't trust me.
Right.
I think Into Darkness, Sulu takes the captain's chair at one point, but
Okay.
Oh, does he?
yeah, that's as far as I could get.
Coming up, question 5, we're going to be diving way back to some Roman history. The first and second Roman triumvirates were a trio of Roman leaders instrumental in the transition of the Roman Republic to the Roman Empire. Julius Caesar led the first, and his successor Augustus led the second. For 5 points each, name another member of the first triumvirate and another member of the second.
Okay, Jeff thinks he has a fairly decent guess on this, so we're going to lock in.
Okay. I think I've got a couple of names here. So these are really just 2 other potential Roman emperors that have names that we could remember. So there's coming in from Brynn is Brutus, and coming in from Aaron is Marcus Aurelius.
Okay. We're not going with Caligula, Jeff?
Caligula was later. Pretty sure. No, we locked in Mark Antony and the singer, of course.
I need to know.
And Pompey, who the name sticks out. I don't know if he was a general or part of the triumvirate.
No, great job. Yeah, looks like Pumping FE got full points there, although Twaz, you guys got some very good, relevant Roman names. No, the first triumvirate, in addition to Caesar, had Crassus and Pompey the Great. And the second triumvirate was Mark Antony and Marcus Lepidus.
Crassus, of course, most known for mooning people.
I want to say Crassus was part of the triumvirate just because he was like filthy rich.
That's a good way to get part of the triumvirate.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it looks like after 5 questions, Twas a Show is at 20 points, and narrowly ahead is Pumping FE with 36. So, anyone's game.
Well, we'll see if we can balance it out with question 6. A quote from the Organic Act of 1872 is inscribed on a stone arch in Montana. While the act was signed into law by President Grant, the arch is named for a different president who served a few decades later. What did the Organic Act of 1872 establish? Would you guys like a hint that's the quote on the arch, or would you like the name of the president the arch is named after?
Let's take the quote.
Cool. The quote on the arch is for the benefit and enjoyment of the people.
All right. With that quote in mind, I think we know the president and the act. So we're locked in.
You know what? I'm just going to go with that first instinct.
Yeah, go for
why
it.
not? We're going to say that this has something to do with establishing the national parks system. And I don't think we had to say the name of the president, but...
Did we?
No.
Okay. Because I'd probably get that
We're
wrong.
Canucks. We don't have to know this.
Well, if that's wrong, we're going down with you because we think it's Roosevelt and national parks.
Sure. No. Yeah. I will give. I'll give you guys both points. So it's specifically it established Yellowstone National Park, which was the first national park. So I'd say yeah, it established the national parks. I think so.
Good job.
Oh, well done for a couple of Canucks. I'm proud of you guys. Yeah. No. So luckily for you guys, the category for question 7 is Tim Hortons donut flavors.
Oh.
It's not. I'm sorry.
That was my first job as a high schooler. It was Tim Hortons.
Is that
Jeff
like
was
the
equally disappointed?
Is that like the mandatory service? Is all Canadians have to work at Tim Hortons for 2 years out of high school?
I think so.
Slight de-Israeli military.
But actually, question 7 is going to be coming from my dad's record collection. Number 7. In college, Chevy Chase was the drummer for a band with 2 of his more musically inclined classmates. While Chevy Chase went on to be a movie and television star, his classmates reeled in their own success by going on to form what band, to the joy of yacht dads and beatnik audiophiles everywhere?
All right. It sounds like Jeff knows what he's talking about, and this is news to me.
He does not know what he's talking about.
Jeff is a yacht rock stan.
Well, the audiophile beatnik thing is kind of my jam, so
go for it.
This is kind of a wild guess, but I said a Steely Dan.
Yeah, I'm thinking about audiophiles everywhere, and maybe if you're reeling in the years, it's got to be Steely Dan. So,
it is Steely Dan.
Yeah.
How was Chevy Chase and basically Steely Dan?
How was Donald Fagen in a room with Chevy Chase? That's what I need to know.
Yeah, I think there's a reason that they didn't move forward as a band, probably.
Chevy Chase, notorious douchebag.
I want to know if there's any like photos or video of him with them.
I've tried. It sounds like it was like a thing they did for a couple weeks in college, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to be in a band with Chevy Chase.
Let's get rid of him.
No, great job. Great job to both teams. Great pull on the reeling in the years hint there, too, though. All right, we're going to keep talking about popular music with question 8. Of the top 10 best-selling albums of all time, 7 are studio albums, 1 is a compilation, and 2 are movie soundtracks for movies that came out 15 years apart. What are those movies?
Okay, we are locked in with 2 answers here.
We debated each other on one of the years.
This might be like a contentious like issue in our relationship now because.
But she was right about Scotty, so I'm giving it to her.
Yeah, he's not trusting me with my.
Okay.
No, I'm trusting you. I'm giving it to you now.
What do you got?
Okay, so I'm gonna say, so that like the older of the 2 is Jesus Christ Superstar, and The Bodyguard.
Okay. Yeah, we too had The Bodyguard, and initially we were thinking Frozen, but the timeline wasn't quite right, so we figure Frozen probably just didn't sell enough albums because it's more modern. So we went back in time and didn't say Back to the Future. We said Grease.
Very close.
Ooh, yeah, sounds like Neal knows what he's talking about. Close. I think
Grease 2?
Both teams got at least 1, right? The much better known Grease too. Both teams got at least 1 answer right. The Bodyguard from 1992 was 1, but released in 1977, Fever Night, Saturday Night Fever.
Oh,
damn it! Sorry,
I forgot about that.
Man, We all should have known that.
Thank God I deferred to you on the bodyguard,
Okay,
though.
Aaron wanted to say Forrest Gump, and I was like, no, it's not Forrest Gump.
Okay.
It's the bodyguard. The bodyguard is like the highest selling of all time.
Well, good
That it
thing
is.
I deferred to you on that.
Yeah.
But I was very convinced.
So we doing half points there or no points?
Sure. Why not? I like points. Let's give
All right,
5 points out to both
apiece.
team.
And I mentioned number 3 because number 3 stars the man above my shoulder right now. It's Dirty Dancing.
We'll keep blasting on to number 9. In 1953, 2 Californians opened a restaurant called Danny's Donuts. A few years later, the restaurant was reconceptualized as Danny's Coffee. To avoid confusion with another local chain called Coffee Dan's, they made a small change to the name, and the restaurant is now better known as what?
All right, so we're gyrating back and forth between Krispy Kreme and Denny's.
Right.
Denny's doesn't serve donuts.
No, but Randy's
maybe they did
serves
before.
donuts. So maybe it's Randy's Donuts.
And he said slight change of name, right?
Yeah.
So Krispy Kreme is out. Maybe a
think
Georgia
so.
company. So let's go Denny's. Let's go for that grand slam.
We had also landed on Denny's. I was concerned about the lack of donuts on their menu, but the name thing just makes a lot of sense.
No, great job. Points to both teams. They became Denny's. Yeah, it was originally called Danny's Donuts, and then they were reconceptualized as a breakfast joint called Danny's Coffee. So, no, great job.
Cool.
I want to imagine that there was like a marketing guru who came in. He's like, we need to reconceptualize your brand. What if you change the A to an E?
It's the worst episode of Mad Men ever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go cheat on my wife.
Well, we're going to round out the first half by moving into some leisure. Question number 10. Originally made from hard, non-buoyant rubber and intended as a chew toy, what toy later rose to popularity when a softer vinyl version was patented in 1947? This popularity further skyrocketed thanks to a song that hit number 11 on the Billboard charts in 1971.
Good thinking, Jeff. It's all coming together, and we're locked in.
Well, I guess we're going to go with some sort of beach ball that would have related to, what did you call it? Surf music?
I don't know. I was
Surf
thinking
rock?
of surf rock from the
Like 50s,
well, they said the 70s, so
70s.
yeah, early 70s.
Okay, so it's a Beach Boys thing.
Well, then it's a freaking beach ball then.
Beach ball, Beach Boys, beach related
Beach ball
vinyl
thing.
vinyl toy.
Yeah,
Boom.
beach ball.
Rubber ducky, you're the one. You make bath time lots of fun.
Sounds to me like Pumpin' FE is getting the points
Oh,
there. Yeah, it is
man.
the rubber duck.
Yeah, Jeff came up with the answer, but it was my my option to sing.
Oh my god.
Well, this is embarrassing.
This is really embarrassing. We're getting creamed here.
Twas a show, still in it, 55 points, very commendable number. And Pumping FE, I keep wanting to say Pumping Iron, the great Arnold Schwarzenegger documentary,
Well,
but
that's the idea.
is that what the idea is? It went
That's-
right over
that's
my
FE.
head. It went right over my head.
Iron is Fe.
Oh, is that what it is?
Today's chemistry lesson for Neal.
Oh, yeah, it is a chemistry lesson, right? All right, well, you guys have 81, so it's 81 to 55.
No, great job, guys. I'm sorry for making you adding up odd numbers all the way through, Neal, but cool. So I think up next we have the swing round, right? I just got 10 questions that I'm all very proud of. So every question will give you a word or short phrase that is an anagram of a Bond film. You're going to have to give me the name of the Bond film. So this round, it starts off pretty grounded and it goes off the rails really quickly. So good luck. Number 1. Although more famously insisted upon by a different singer in 1967, this was first demanded by Otis Redding in 1965. Number 2. The patriarch of the Foreman family of Point Place, Wisconsin, is swinging a club on the back nine. Number 3. We are little teapots, short and stout. You can see our brazen and immodest handles, but we are a little more shy about our blank blank. Number 4. This is a member of the hardy mountain-faring people indigenous to Skyrim. Number 5. A woman was very hungry, so she baked a distinctively shaped donut-like cake. There were no leftovers, however, as she ate blank, blank, blank. Number 6. One of the Carpenters, the erstwhile co-star of Doctor Who, and the most recent Second Lady of the United States are all hanging out on a wet highland hill characteristic of Great Britain. Number 7. An insect member of the order Diptera is named after a groundbreaking American virologist. 8. An NBC News program in which Mephistopheles has replaced Lester Holt. 9. A traditional form of Alpine song sung by the former partner of Roger Ebert. And 10. The hit single off of Toys in the Attic, but the sugar is replaced with aspartame. So every question there will give you a word or short phrase, and that word or short phrase is an anagram of a Bond film.
You are a mad scientist, Wade. Everyone here is going to go over these, and you know what? I think we'll throw the clues in the show notes, possibly as well. We'll see. But we're going to be right back with some answers.
We took it all. We brought them to our land. An endless night, ember hot and icy cold. The rage of the earth. We made this curse. Carved it in the blood on our backs. We did not see. We could not, but she did. And in the end...
What will I become? Senua's Saga. Hellblade 2.
Play it now with Game Pass.
And we're back from a break where we tried our best to figure these out. It was tough. It took us a long time, guys. So if you wanted to pause the podcast, I don't blame you. So let's get the answers.
Sure. Number 1, although more famously insisted upon by a different singer in 1967, this was first demanded by Otis Redding in 1965.
We think it's Spectre. So we said Spectre from the song Respect.
We did not have such an astute guess.
We didn't get in it.
We thought the song was Try a Little Tenderness.
Yeah.
And we could not pull a movie title out of that.
We're like, what?
No, yeah, it helps to spell it out. Yeah, it was Respect into Spectre.
That's very clever.
Number 2, the patriarch of the Foreman family of Point Place, Wisconsin, is swinging a club on the back 9.
All right, we know it's red, and if he's swinging a club, he's probably golfing, so we went with Goldfinger.
We also went with red golfing into Goldfinger, and that's probably the only one that we're very confident in.
Well, you should be confident. Points all around. Both teams got it right.
Nice.
Third one was, we are little teapots, short and stout. You can see our brazen and immodest handles, but we are a little more shy about our blank blank.
I think they're shy about their coy spouts, which I believe anagrams to octopussy.
We reverse engineered that one, though, just to be fair.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, we had the word spout. Didn't quite make it as far as that.
Yeah, no, well done to pumping FE or pumping fe if you prefer. Yeah, it was koi spouts or octopussy. Yeah, I was kind of expecting people to reverse engineer that one. Next one, this is a member of the hardy mountain-faring people indigenous to Skyrim.
Another reverse engineer here. I said Dr. No, and he said that fits because of...
The Nords.
We didn't really have anything for that one.
Okay, so nothing there.
Moving on.
Yeah, nope, it was Nord into Dr. No. Although, yeah, it sounds like you were thinking about Dr. No's brother, Turb No. Next one was, a woman was very hungry, so she baked a distinctively shaped donut-like cake. There were no leftovers, however, as she ate blank, blank, blank.
I think it's something like all the bunt, but we got bunt into Thunderball, so we said Thunderball.
Well, we were playing with bunt. Then we also had a funny take on the clue that she ate the whole thing, whole as HOLE.
Instead of whole.
But
then that didn't give us anything.
Didn't give us
so...
a movie title, so.
Moving on.
Oh yeah, it was close with all the bunt. It was all her bunt, which is an anagram of Thunderball. So really well done there.
Yeah.
Next one we had was one of the Carpenters, the erstwhile co-star of Doctor Who, and the most recent Second Lady of the United States are all hanging out on a wet Highland hill characteristic of Great Britain.
So we got Karen, and then Jeff unscrambled that into...
Well, I figured out that would fit if you add more to Moonraker.
So you might have been right about the more.
Yeah, he second guessed me again because I had said more in our initial conversations, but Aaron second guessed me again.
Because you would have gotten Moonraker from that?
No, I would not have.
Aaron said it was the Moops.
Yeah, the Moops. Yeah.
So nothing there?
It was the Moops.
Nothing.
It's a misprint.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, great job there. 7 was an insect member of the order Diptera is named after a groundbreaking American virologist.
All right, this is where it gets tricky. But you said butterflies were what?
Lepidoptera.
So I said Terra probably means something that flies. Went to mosquito, and I was able to fit that into Quantum of Solace. So we said Quantum of Solace, but we didn't figure out the whole clue.
We got nothing. Crickets over here.
Sure. Very close, and great job on fitting into Quantum of Solace. But Diptera refers to the common housefly, and the virologist in mind was Jonas Salk. It was the Salk fly or skyfall.
Ooh.
Number 8, an NBC News program in which Mephistopheles has replaced Lester Holt.
Yep, saw a lot of combinations of letters between nightly and daylights, so we guessed living daylights.
This is deeply embarrassing.
just keep going.
Just keep going. What do we got?
Keep going? Yeah. Do you want to toss one in as your answer?
We had jotted down Live and Let Die.
All right. Well, in that case, an NBC News program in which Mephistopheles has replaced Mr. Holt is Devil Dateline or Live and Let Die.
There you go. Never hurts to guess.
Yeah, always throw a guess out.
See, he's figured that out. Well done. Number 9.
That's my favorite correct answer of the entire episode. And we got it wrong.
Really good job. You guys figured it out, I'm sure.
I swear that's written here.
Number 9. A traditional form of Alpine song sung by the former partner of Roger Ebert.
We went to Yodel Jean and said Goldeneye.
Well, we knew it was Yodel, but...
We knew Yodel, and we knew it was either Ropert or Siskel, but we didn't think to go first names.
We didn't go first names, so we really...
Yeah, I don't play by Jeopardy rules. Well done, Pumpin' F.E. That was a Gene Yodel or Yodel Gene into Goldeneye. And the last one, the hit single off of Toys in the Attic, but the sugar is replaced with aspartame.
Died emotion. Blah 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 blah.
It's an acoustic cover.
We had Diet Emotion like right away, and it took us forever to figure out that you're probably alluding to the new film that's not yet released, No Time to Die.
Any thoughts, Twas?
No.
Well, I mean, I think we overthought this one. We went with the song "Pour Some Sugar on Me."
Yeah, we got the album wrong. Like we really chunked that.
So we ended up playing around with Sweetener and Artificial.
Yeah,
and...
we really went on a weird journey. Like
didn't work out.
Didn't work out.
Great job to Pumpin' FE. It was a Diet Emotion into No Time to Die. Got a little sneaky with you guys on that one, but no, that is maybe my favorite set of 10 questions I've ever looked at for trivia.
Very well done.
My therapist says I have Diet Emotion.
Well, after the swing round, no shame in 2 questions correct there for Twas. They picked up 10 points, bringing their total to 65. And Pumping Iron is up to 121. So 121 to 65. So I don't believe the next set of questions are anagrams. Is that correct, Wade?
I might have to do some quick modification here. Nope, we have no anagrams for the remainder of the night. Bouncing into the first question of the second half. The English name Jesus is derived from a Greek transliteration of a Hebrew and Aramaic name that is still in use today. What is this name, which is shared by one of the lead actors in the Broadway cast of Book of Mormon? A little hint for you, this name was one of the top 5 male baby names in the U.S. every year from 1983 to 2008.
All right, these guys are locked in, so we're just going to tap right out on this one, sadly. We have no idea.
Yeah, we went with Joshua.
Great job. It is a translation of Joshua, of course, referencing Josh Gad, who played Elder Cunningham in Book of Mormon.
Nice.
Great job, guys. I see the beginnings of a comeback starting to mount here.
Yeah, that is her brother's name.
Don't call it a comeback.
There you go.
Well, let's move on to the second question of the second half. Andrzej Tchaikovsky was a Polish musician who died from colon cancer in 1982 without ever performing in a play. Despite this obstacle, he still got to appear on stage in 2008 alongside David Tennant. What character did he portray?
We don't know, so we're going to lock in.
Yeah, we are definitely not going to have a right answer.
You know, I'm just going to put something out there. I'm going to say he plays his cat.
Okay. All right. Cool. And what do we have from Pumpin' Fe?
We believe that he appears in the play Equus as Daniel Radcliffe's penis.
You're closer than you know. No. Andrzej Tchaikovsky ended up portraying Yorick, better known as the Skull in Hamlet.
To be or not to be.
Wow.
That is.
They used a
dark.
human skull?
In Shakespeare's scripts notes, make sure you use a human skull.
It was not encouraged to drink out of it after the play, as he often did. But
at the cast party, yeah.
Number 3 of the second half. Emil Jannings was the first actor to win the Academy Award for Best Actor, though he proceeded to star in a number of regrettable German films in the following decades. Because of this connection, he was portrayed in a cameo appearance during the climax of what 2009 war film?
We're locked in.
Yeah, we're good. We're going to go with Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, we said that too.
Yeah, points all around. It was Inglourious Bastards.
The year 2009 really rings a bell to me. When I hear 2009 film, I think Inglourious Bastards.
It's the year you became a man.
Yeah, that's right. Wait, what?
And in honor of Ken becoming a man in 2009, I'm going to make myself available as a tag team partner for Brynn and Aaron, just because these questions are now in my wheelhouse, which they weren't before.
So you're feeling like you want to suddenly answer some questions.
I am. So if you guys
you're
need
joining the enemy.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll join the enemy. So if you need my help, just say tag, and I'll try to give you a good answer.
Okay.
Well, great timing, Neal, because question 4 is about math.
I rescind my comment.
Number 4 of the second half. One of the most important constants in mathematics, E, is named for what Swiss mathematician? Not to be mistaken with Warren Moon or Earl Campbell.
Don't worry about the just
we're locked in.
You were writing it down and then you started thinking about it with the clues. All right, we're locked in.
Oh, I get it. My brain worked.
Don't let yourself be fooled by extra clues.
No, I figured it out. I definitely...
You're extremely confident and then you just stopped.
It confirmed what I already knew.
Look at the big brain on Jeff.
I was hoping that this would be like an algebra question that I could just like work out the
y equals 4x squared.
Yeah. I know, and the frustrating thing is that I know that I've heard the answer to this in the not so distant past, and I cannot remember it. Is Escher someone? Someone.
I was going to say that it was eunuch, but then they cut off all the other letters and it just became E.
Yeah, I believe this is Euler, which would be the team that those other two guys played on at one point.
No, well done. This is Leonard Euler. And Warren Moon and Earl Campbell both famously played for the Houston Oilers. But no, great guess with Escher. Escher was also an artist mathematician, which that E would have been a good connection there.
Wow.
That's very generous of you to.
It was a good guess, Aaron.
to say that.
Yeah.
The fall of the House of Escher.
Well, let's jump on over to question number 5 of the second half. We're going to do a little more classic rock here. And Then There Were Three is a 1978 studio album marking a change in style for the recording band. This is due to a lineup change in which the lead vocal duties were picked up by the band's drummer. What band is this?
Always a good choice, by the way.
If you need to phone a friend on this one, I can help you as a drummer.
Here, I'll give you a little hint.
On the nose, Ken. Great job.
Tag.
All right. So, are you familiar with the song Sussudio?
Oh, yeah.
So it would be the band that started the Earth in 7 days, I believe is what it is. Genesis.
Oh.
And we also said Genesis.
That'd be Phil Collins going from being the drummer to the lead singer.
Yeah, no, great job. Points all around.
I had that in my head, and then I didn't trust myself.
I felt it, Brynn. I felt it.
Yeah, they were a band of 4.
That's why I was like, oh.
No, yeah, they were a band of 4, and then they were 3.
After 5 in the second round, it looks like Team Twas picking up 30 points, bringing them to 95, and Pumping Iron picking up 30 points as well, bringing them to 151.
Okay.
Well, let's enter the home stretch in the second half here. Number 6. The Spiel des Jahres is an annual award. Winners include Istanbul, Colt Express, Alhambra, and Azul. What is the Spiel des Jahres an award for?
We can lock in.
Well, we think it's some sort of race or competition, something sporty, like
Maybe
a car
if
race or
maybe if it was
a
made out
horse
of
race.
cardboard, maybe if it was a cardboard race, does that help at all? Possibly.
I can throw
With a
another
die?
hint. Throw another hint for you guys, though, that one of the winners was Settlers of Catan.
Oh, a board game competition. Okay. Yeah, it's some sort of board game competition.
I like that idea.
And we said this is the annual German Board Game Awards.
Well done, yeah. Spiel des Jahres is German for Game of the Year. It is the best board game or card game every year.
You know what's sad is that I almost guessed that it was something German specifically because I know that they're huge into board games and because of the word Spiel, but but listening to the various past winners, I just couldn't really.
I think the
Connect
Dutch
the dots.
also like their board games, right, Dutch boy?
Only if you roll a 6.
What's your favorite board game, Dutch boy?
Candyland.
I expected that. Yeah.
Well, we're going to stay on the subject of games for number 7. Chess is a descendant of an ancient Indian game with a name that refers to a particular formation of the 4 divisions of an army, the elephantry, chariotry, cavalry, and infantry. Yogis may also recognize this as one of the nicknames for a low plank. What is the name of this game?
Okay, I have an idea here from the yoga perspective.
I like it.
It might not be exactly a low plank, but we're going to be close.
It's a medium lowish plank.
There's a word that's on the tip of my tongue. What is this? What is this word that I'm trying? Give up. I give up.
All right, they're out. Well, I know when I'm doing my yoga along with the German guy on YouTube who absolutely kicks my ass every time when he says,
Like your
and we're
bison
going to
in
go
this
from
situation,
plank to chaturanga, I cry. So we're going to go with chaturanga.
All right, cool. Chaturanga is the right answer. Chaturanga is the name of the OG chess, which had, I think, elephants instead of bishops, which is objectively cooler.
I have never said this before in my life, Ken, but thank you for being in good shape.
No problem. That's what the ladies say, too.
No,
Someday.
I hope.
Great job there. We're gonna pivot into a little geography. Two cities that straddle the U.S.-Mexico border have fitting names that are complementary portmanteaus. The city on the California side lends its name to an Arizona-based indie rock band, and the city on the Baja side is referenced in a song by the Grateful Dead. What are the names of these cities?
Ken, if you trust me, I believe we can lock in.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with yoga, so this is all you.
Okay.
If you guys need me to tag, I only know one, but if it'll get us points, if I'm right, then it'll get us points.
Okay, so yeah, I would love a little help from our friend here. We have a guess for one of the cities on the Mexico side, but not.
Oh, that might be the same one as me. What's your guess?
Our guess is Tijuana.
Oh, okay. Mine, I think, is an indie band. I'm pretty sure. I think it's Calexico or Calexico, something like that, but Calexico. That's my guess. Because I think it's like California, Mexico put together.
Oh, I see.
Go for it.
We'll go for
Go for it.
We'll go for it.
All right, Jeff. They're saying Calexico.
We also have Calexico. I believe the other one is Mexicali.
Well done. The two cities were Mexicali on the Mexico side and Calexico on the California side. Mexicali Blues is one of my sleeper picks for one of my favorite songs by the Dead.
The other one seems so simple. I didn't even put that together.
Mm-hmm.
No, great job. It's definitely a tricky one that I think I only know because I got a lot of family in the area in SoCal.
We're definitely more familiar with the other border.
Yep. Yeah. Well, let's go on to number 9 of the second half. Domenico Dragonetti was an Italian virtuoso and composer. His best-known works are concertos, which shone a rare spotlight on what otherwise common orchestral instrument, which was too difficult to hear until the advent of more modern instrument-making techniques.
All right, we're going to go ahead and lock in here, just based on our knowledge of orchestral instruments and their relative loudness.
Okay, we have a couple guesses, but I think we're going to go with. Should we go for it?
Yeah, go for it, Aaron.
Okay, we're gonna go with a melodica.
Ooh,
all right,
good. Like I said, we're just going based on like which instruments we think has a hard like cap for loudness, and we went with the oboe.
I think this may have been a question that was hard for me to gauge because this was the instrument I played in high school. Look over your shoulder and you may see the bass sitting behind you. It is the upright bass.
Do you slap at a bass?
I have been known to slap at a bass.
All right.
That is actually a bass sitting in the case behind me there. It was back when they made strings out of catgut. Those big thick gauge strings on the bass just did not get very loud.
Gotcha.
Well, let's finish up the second half. How about with a question going back into the realm of sports. Number 10. The World Lopet Ski Federation is an organization consisting of 20 long-distance cross-country ski races from 20 different countries. The American race, which occurs in northern Wisconsin, shares its name with the Norwegian race, which is in turn named after a group of Norwegian rebels. What is this race called?
The Cheese Run.
The Ragnarokers.
We're locked in with the Cheese Run Ragnarokers.
Yeah, this is one of the questions where you know it or you don't.
I mean, don't, obviously.
All right, what's the answer? No, we're not getting this one.
Yeah, no, sure. That was the Birkebeiner.
Oh boy.
I was right about to say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's on the tip of my tongue.
I would have thought that a group of Northerners, like the three of us here, or the three groups of us here, would have had an idea on something like that.
Yeah.
No, great job. Regardless, though, it was a hard question to get. So,
well, it looks like at the end of regulation, we have Twas with 110 points to wager in the final round, and Pumping Iron with 191. So, what are those final 5 categories to wager on?
Well, I came up with these questions before last Sunday, but the categories are Bears, Packers, Vikings, Lions, and Buccaneers.
I was going to be Bears beats Battlestar.
I was hoping.
All right, all the wagers are now locked in. Let's hear the questions.
All right, number 1 in the category of bears. There are only 8 living species of bear. Their closest relatives in the animal kingdom are what other carnivores? Though they may look much cuter, you still probably wouldn't want a kiss from them. Number 2 in the category of packers. The Triple Crown of hiking is one of the most prestigious accomplishments among American long-distance backpackers, and is achieved by thru-hiking 3 trails that span nearly 8,000 miles. The Pacific Crest Trail became widely known from Cheryl Strayed's book Wild, but name either of the other 2 trails. In the category of Vikings, while not a name commonly learned outside of his country of origin, Ethelstan could be considered one of the more significant figures in Western history. In 1924 AD, he inherited a royal title from his father. By 927, Ethelstan had conquered a Viking kingdom then called Jorvik, and consolidated its crown with his own. As a result, most modern historians consider Ethelstan to be the first what? In the category of lions, the first of Hercules' 12 labors was to slay the Nemean lion, a vicious monster with an impenetrable hide and claws that could slice through any armor. With what handy technique did Hercules ultimately kill the lion? Hint: he couldn't get his foot behind the lion's tail, so he had to channel a different TV dad. And the 5th one in the category of buccaneers. The third of Hercules' 12 labors was to capture the Golden Hind. The Golden Hind is also the name of a ship captained by an English explorer who didn't let circumnavigating the globe stop him from extensively plundering Spanish ports and ships along the west coast of the Americas. Who is this explorer, whose subsequent knighthood is often cited as one of the precursors to the Anglo-Spanish War?
All right, it looks like these guys are going to discuss, and we'll be back with the answers.
All right, all the answers are now locked in. Let's hear the questions one more time and see how it all shakes out.
Sure. In the category of bears, there are only 8 living species of bear. Their closest relatives in the animal kingdom are what other carnivores? Though they may look much cuter, you still probably wouldn't want a kiss from them.
Not too sure on this one. We just went with the raccoon, the noble raccoon.
Because they are adorable.
We also went with the trash panda, the raccoon.
That's what we call them here in Toronto, is trash pandas. So, yeah,
raccoons. We wagered 10 on that one. How about you guys?
20.
Sure. No, a couple other things you might not want to kiss from may include a rose. It is the seals.
Oh, interesting.
In the category of packers, we had the Triple Crown of hiking is one of the most prestigious accomplishments among American long-distance backpackers, and it's achieved by thru-hiking 3 trails that span nearly 8,000 miles. The Pacific Crest Trail became widely known from Cheryl Strayed's book Wild, but could you name either of the other 2 trails?
Well, one of my friends did the Appalachian Trail in its entirety, and I was following her quest on Facebook, so we said Appalachian Trail.
We also said Appalachian Trail as being the longest trail in the United States, which I've heard of.
And we did 10 points again?
Unfortunately, we wagered nothing on this one.
Yeah.
Well, you can pat yourself on the back because you got the answer right. It was the Appalachian Trail, and the other one was the Continental Divide Trail, which kind of runs down the rim of the Rockies. In the category of Vikings, while not a name commonly learned outside of his country of origin, Ethelstan could be considered one of the more significant figures in Western history. In 924 AD, he inherited a royal title from his father. By 927, Ethelstan had conquered a Viking kingdom then called Jorvik, and consolidated its crown with his own. As a result, most modern historians consider Ethelstan to be the first what?
All right, we wagered 10 here, and I'm going to pass it to Jeff because this question made me say, what?
I don't know exactly what Wade's looking for here, but I think he could technically be considered the first king of England. He was certainly the first Anglo-Saxon, so We said King of England.
We went in a very different direction on this one. I was thinking that this was maybe the first Scandinavian or Norwegian, perhaps.
Well, it sounds like Jeff knew exactly what I was looking for here. Yeah, the Viking kingdom, then called Jorvik, we know now as York, and Athelstan was the first king of England.
Oh,
I mean, we
Thank
should
you.
know that because
Thank you.
Toronto used to be York.
TV show Vikings for knowing who Athelstan is.
In the category of lions, the first of Hercules' 12 labors was the slay the Nemean lion, a vicious monster with an impenetrable hide and claws that could slice through any armor. With what handy technique did Hercules ultimately kill the lion? As a hint, he couldn't get his foot behind the lion's tail, so he had to channel a different TV dad.
For 10 points, if he got his foot there, I think he'd be sticking his foot up his ass like Red Foreman. But I think it was more the Homer Simpson route, and he choked him out.
We also went the Homer Simpson route.
Yeah,
and said the strangling.
wringing its neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those fancy details about the lion, and Hercules just choked him to death, strangled is right.
Well, you said handy, and you emphasized the handy, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to get a Scranton Strangler reference somewhere in there, but I couldn't quite fit it. And finishing off in the category of Buccaneers, the third of Hercules' 12 labors was to capture the Golden Hind. The Golden Hind is also the name of a ship captained by an English explorer who didn't let circumnavigating the globe stop him from extensively plundering Spanish ports and ships along the west coast of the Americas. Who is this explorer, whose subsequent knighthood is often cited as one of the precursors to the Anglo-Spanish War?
For 10 points, we know this person is a sir, and we said Drake, and not the creepy musician.
Yeah, this is probably not right, but yeah, we put down Captain Cook.
That is a great guess, but no, he did not win the MVP and Defensive Player of the Year award, but it was Sir Francis Drake.
All right, after doing some score tabulation here, Twas actually ended the game with 100 points. So good score. Yeah, very good score. And today's cream of the crop with 221 points is Pumping FE, or as I learned, Pumping Iron, based on the film starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Yeah, we are looking a lot like Rocky at the end of Rocky 2. Victorious, but bruised.
Bruised and battered.
Yeah, they put up an excellent fight, guys.
I feel like the piece of meat.
Wade, thank you very much for putting all these questions together. As you said, some of them might not have been in some of our wheelhouses, but they are all very well written and covered a lot of topics, and we learned a lot of cool things today, especially the Bond round in the middle. But any shout outs or anyone you'd like to say hello to? Any final statements here?
Yeah, no, I want to give a quick thank you to a lot of my friends who helped me write these questions. In particular, my friend Nick helped write a few of these questions today, and he's also an avid listener to the podcast and got me introduced to it in the first place.
Thank you, Nick.
And I just want to take a quick minute to encourage everyone listening to, if they're able to, just check out the Patreon kickback. You guys do a lot of great work. The product you put out is worth every penny any of us could ever give you, and I really appreciate what you guys do, and it's the least any of us can do is to kick back a few dollars to help keep this podcast up and running.
Thank you very much.
That is much appreciated, especially because I forgot to do a Patreon drop this episode.
There you go. There it was.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
No truer endorsement than from one of our patrons and avid listeners.
And Brynn and Aaron, make sure you tell everyone where they can find your show. We appreciate you coming on today and staying up late with us. And I will say for myself, your program, I absolutely love the Golden Palace episode, the Don Cheadle starring Golden Girl spinoff, and the Sports Night one. But people can check that out. But how can they find you, and any last words from you guys?
Well, thank you so much for that endorsement, and thank you so much for having us on the show. This was a really challenging game, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks so much, Wade, for these questions. I feel like I learned a lot, but now I feel like I'm ready for bed because my brain is tired.
No, I want to thank you for your patience, if nothing else. But you're going to be really good at anagrams tomorrow now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can find our podcast, That Was a Show, on any common podcast platform, Also, our homepage is anchor.fm/thatwasashow. You can also follow us on Instagram at thatwasashow. And we're very excited for people to check us out. And thank you very much for bringing us on.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Any of you are welcome to hop by and watch some bad sitcoms with us if you ever want to.
All right, that sounds fun.
And please
that,
do suggest.
That was a show with a question mark, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so if you're looking up the pod to listen to it, you're gonna use the question mark. But on Instagram, we don't have the question mark.
Okay, yeah. and that was our show, right?
I think so.
All right. Well,
I've got an episode all about sports night to go listen to. So.
All right. Well, for our guests, Jeff, Neal, Matt, who's somewhere, and myself, Ken, that was Triviality?
Question mark?
What is the Spiel des Jahres an award for?
We can lock in.
The table just lifted up a little bit on Jeff's side.